everybody, and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all of my fellow American members of Asgard. Today, of course, is the day that we remember and celebrate our independence. That was established back in 1776, or at the very least when the Declaration of Independence was officially promulgated and put together. And to everyone else that is not an American on this day, all I can say is, you're welcome. So anyway, hope everyone's been having a wonderful 4th of July. Of course, it's always times and holidays like these that I always wish to say, let us remember everyone that is a part and a member of our armed service community, for all those that have served, for all of our veterans, for all that are currently actively on duty, and also I would argue even by extension, especially because of the day and age in which we live right now, I would say by extension, anyone working in law enforcement as well, keeping all of them in our thoughts and our prayers, because the other thing that happens normally on 4th of July is that a bunch of people shoot off a bunch of fireworks, and some of them get drunk, some of them do stupid things. So shout out to everyone in law enforcement that's going to be having to deal with a crazy amount of nonsense. Not to mention, of course, that this is a 4th of July occurring during the midst of riots and, so-called peaceful protests. Some indeed peaceful protests, but others really not so much. And so Lord knows that our police officers are going to have a lot in their hands. But again, today we'll be trying to celebrate as much as we possibly can in the year 2020, which has been a crazy year, has been what I would argue a pretty terrible year when you really put everything into perspective with it. But happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to all of my fellow Americans. And as I said earlier, you're welcome to everyone else that is non-American. So let's go ahead and dive into the YouTube chat to see who is here. I imagine that we'll have a pretty light stream this evening, seeing that many people will likely be celebrating the 4th of July with a variety of festivities that will probably include copious amounts of alcohol and also, of course, fireworks. Obviously, I choose to skip out on those events. Not that there's anything wrong with fireworks, but it's something that overall not really worth buying in my opinion, but that's, again, just my own. I used to go with some friends. We used to celebrate together, and they would normally, one of their families would host it, and so they'd buy all the fireworks, and we would just be there chilling with each other. And that's what I think one of the coolest things about it is that it's a good time to spend time with family, cook some hot dogs, cook some burgers, cook some American barbecue, always a good thing to do. But it's also a weird time to be celebrating the 4th of July because we're still in a state of weird quarantine in certain areas where social gatherings are either looked down upon or in some cases are shut down depending on where you live. And so it's a very weird time for our country. And I think that a day like the 4th can remind us that we indeed are free, that there are certain freedoms that are inalienable rights given to us by God, that no government, no matter what they might believe or what they might say, can change, and that we have a right to bear those rights in a wide variety of ways, one of which, of course, is speech, and, of course, also the ability right now to come together and spend time together as a family here in Asgard. So, Slicer Neon started us off way before time, saying, my fellow Americans, happy 4th of July. Thank you, Slicer. Mr. Peabody, who, of course, is one of our Aussie brethren, says, happy 4th. Bruce, who is a member now on the channel, says, hi, Odin. How's it going, Bruce? He was here a little early as well. Zoomed1975 says, happy 4th of July, America. Your light must continue to shine. If it stops, we all fall into darkness. Keep the lights on. And yes, I think that's definitely a fair comment to be made, especially when you look to other countries around the world and how many of them don't have laws that protect things like speech, don't have laws that protect the ability for one to bear arms. And I've made clear on the channel before, right? I'm personally one that I don't believe in owning right? I don't believe in having one in the house. That's just my own personal choice, just not something that I personally want. But I firmly believe in everyone else's right to own a firearm in order to protect themselves. And if we've been seeing a lot of the things going on in our country with the riots and everything, it seems that it is definitely a right that has shown itself to really have its use. Not to mention, of course, if we go back to the original 4th of July celebration, and of course the subsequent ones after that, when we were forming a government, forming really a country, and how fighting against oppressive government was a major aspect and a major part of that. And so it's interesting that we think back about, what the origins of the 4th of July and Independence Day and the years surrounding that first one back in 1776, and yet we're seeing some similarities there with a overbearing, overpowering government in certain instances that I think, in my own personal opinion, has gotten way too big and way too large. And obviously, I think that it's time for us to use the rights that we have to speak up, to speak out, and to try and fight against it. And I think the best way that we can do that is with another right that we have, which is, of course, to vote. And so I would recommend to anyone out there seeing the chaos going on around you, no matter where you are, no matter what political party you're a part of, no matter what religion you're a part of, and if you're here in the States or any country where you have the similar ability to do so, keep all of this in mind in November and think about who is the person locally, regionally, and nationally that's going to best serve your interest. Now, that's going to be up to you as a person to decide for yourself. It's amazing how so many people assume they know who I have voted for, will vote for, etc., when in reality they have no idea. When in reality they have none. But yes, Zoomed, absolutely. Hoping and praying that we can have enough American people here that can understand that we have rights and that we should defend those rights. Bruce putting some great images in the chat, and then, of course, puts the typical song from a great film called Team America World Police. America, F yeah, here to save the mother effing day, yeah. Great song. Bruce then says, I think I'll blast some rounds of one of my AR-15s. Hey, go right ahead and do so. Exercise that right to the Second Amendment that you, of course, have. We got Matthias. I think that's how the name is pronounced, I hope. He says, hail chat, hashtag cancel Jeremy. GMonkey76 is in the chat. 70B says, heyo chat, happy 4th of July. So 70B will not be with us the entire night because obviously she has some plans later on. Tina B is currently enjoying some plans, so she might be able to come in. Again, I really don't know how long we're going to stream tonight, but I wanted to get a stream out there to say happy 4th to everyone here in Asgard, and also to give people a place to come to if they had nothing else that they were doing, or maybe as a holdover to get them through until the next thing. So thank you again for being here on a night that I know many people are going to have other plans. We got 44 people watching, so smash that like button for the 44 people watching, and I would appreciate that very much so. Josue Faguia is in the chat as well. What's going on? Captain Wingster says, Odin, history began on July 4th, 1776. Everything before that was a mistake. Quoting there, Ron Burgundy. Well, there were a lot of things in history. I know it's a joke. A lot of things in history that I would say are very important prior to. Obviously, I would look to the Judeo-Christian history that founded, again, those principles that founded and formed the tenets upon which America was based off. Some tenets that, for some reason, modern-day people and modern-day politicians don't want to acknowledge our country's based off of. We're not based on Judeo-Christian values. Yes, we are. It's very clearly emulated not only in the textual documents that we have as a part of our law, but also, of course, in the letters of the people that actually wrote said law. But it is amazing how people love to still try and live in a frame of ignorance in a lot of ways. Latino Slant is in the chat. What's going on, good sir? Trace Adams in the chat as well. Let's see. 8Shoal980 says, tonight we celebrate our Independence Day. And don't worry, I got that clip on the ready. I think, at first I was like, should I start off the stream with that clip? Should I end with it? I think I'm going to end the stream with that clip. So I have a part of that clip, of course, from Independence Day, which is a film that many, I'm assuming, will watch tonight at some point if you've not watched it already, as it is a quintessential Independence Day film, I would argue. And yes, absolutely. Great quote there. Great shout. Bruce says, "Hail Odin, hail to you, good sir." Donald Hudson's in the chat. Donald Hudson, where have you been, man? Feel like it's been so long since I've seen you in the chats. So great to see you here. He says, "Happy 4th. Thanks for being here." Jens Jurgensen, who's a member on the channel, says, "Guten Abend, mein Damen und Herren." Hopefully I pronounced that even somewhat close. But Jens Jurgensen, thank you very much for being a member and for being here today. Happy 4th to you. And I'm going to say happy 4th to anyone, no matter where they're from. Nathan Slay says, "Happy 4th. Happy 4th, Nathan Slay. Thanks for being here." Also, I need to give some shout outs to some people because Rosetta Allen has now been a member for 4 months. Nano Reaper has been a member for 4 months. Mr. Peabody has been a member on YouTube for 3. And Twirly Wolf has been a member for 3 months as well. So that was something that came up a couple days ago. And because it's right here in my recent events, wanted to make sure I gave them their due. Remember that one of the new perks, if you are a $5 or up member on the channel, is that your name will get shouted out at the end of every live stream. So again, only live streams, but every single one I'll go to see who are my $5 and $10 members, and we'll shout you out at the very end. And of course, my $10 members will get that and also get access to an exclusive podcast that I do for also my Patreon and Subscribestar members at the same level. And it usually will focus and usually will feature a good friend of mine, John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where we talk about movies. We talk about just random things going on. Lately, of course, about the theaters being closed and our varying opinions on masks and, you know, whether we would wear a mask to the theater, etc. We were very different on that particular question. But I've also had a couple of bonus podcast episodes, one of which went onto the main channel as a full video. And that, of course, was the interview I did with Cameron Pasha. It was a very great interview. If you've not seen that video yet, it's a main video on the channel. And then I also have a bonus podcast that's just for my Patreon, Subscribestar, and YouTube members. But I made it available for all members and not just my $10 and up backers because it is a bonus podcast and actually features a former student of mine who contacted me after 2 years because he said, "Hey, you remember when you said 2 years ago that once you graduated that, you know, then you could come on, then I could come onto the channel. Hey, is that offer still on the table?" I said, "I'm a man of my word." Had him on, and we actually had a really great 90-minute conversation about specifically horror films. So if you like horror films and the horror genre, you'll enjoy, I think, that discussion. So that's any level right now, any level membership gets access to that podcast that has been posted as a video for my YouTube members on the community section and as a podcast form for my Subscribestar and YouTube members. Let us see who else. We got Alex McCarthy. Of course, it wouldn't be a stream for America without Alex McCarthy, who's a member on the channel. He says, "And a day when Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum saved the world from aliens. Let us never forget." Let us never forget. Wayne Nelson's in the chat. What's going on, man? HyperNext13, I can't stay here for long, but just wanted to drop by and wish y'all a happy 4th of July and Independence Day. Well, HyperNext13, thank you very much, good sir. And as I said, I know a lot of people probably won't be able to stay long tonight, if at all. And so we'll see where the stream goes and how long it takes me to catch up, etc. And then that'll determine how long we go. But I don't plan on this being a particularly long stream tonight because obviously I want everyone to be able to enjoy their 4th in whatever way they do. Soul Assassin's in the chat. What's going on? Hope you are doing fine, Soul Assassin. Glad to see you in the chat. All right, the chat, of course, has jumped on me just like it normally does. And it looks like y'all are keeping those comments coming along. So thank y'all so much for being here and for being very active. So let us see. Bruce says, "Most, not so much if you ask me." Again, I need some context on that because that made no sense in my mind. Tina Bojan's in the chat. What's going on, Tina? Hungry Ewok is here as well. How's it going? Jens Jurgensen says, "Happy Treason Day, ya Yanks." Yes, of course, we have to have one of those in there. Well, all I can say to you, Jens Jurgensen, is you're welcome. Because without our freedom, where would the world be? There's a lot of what ifs What if scenarios, especially thinking back to times in the 1940s, for instance? What if America had not become free in 1776, or at least had started the process of freedom in 1776? I don't know. I don't know what that history would be. That's pure speculation on my part. Trace Adams says, happy 4th. Chatters, again, happy 4th to everyone who is here. Bruce says, and firearms in the backyard. There you go. Forever Sci-Fi, who's a member on the channel, says, happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to you, good sir. Glad to see you here. Cancelled Venom says, I'm wearing edible blue and red fruit by the foot for Odin. You're wearing it, eh, Cancelled Venom? I don't want to know how you're wearing it, because that just brings a bunch of disgusting images to my mind. So thank you for continuing your troll status here on the channel. And speaking of trolls, since normally this community is full of them, hopefully not this evening, let me head over to my DLive fam, because my DLive fam is fantastic, but sadly, it has been filled with trolls. At least the last stream had a plethora of them. So Alexander was here very, very early just to say he'd be watching the stream. Phonema was here saying happy 4th. Captain K-Man also says happy 4th of July DLive, then drops the flag. Captain Mr. Roy drops the flag. Captain J-Rod, the beer guru, also drops the flag as well. Also, by the way, Mr. Roy, I do have your package of films that you are privy to. I have them done. I just need to put them in the mail, so I'll get those out in the mail this week. And then there was someone else on the channel, I believe her name is Baxter. I don't know if you're here or not, but she was one of the only ones in the last Twitch stream. And so I hooked her up with a set of the Star Wars Despecialized editions, because sometimes I like to give those away to people that are just awesome, right? And so the fact that she was there, and she was basically the only one there that day, and was active and engaging, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make you a set. So I have yours ready as well if you're watching or listening to this now or later. So that'll be out in the mail sometime this week as well. Could take up to about a week or so to get to you, but it will indeed be on the way. Affiliated Hobbit is in the chat as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Phonemo tags me and says, if Bree gets more subs than Geeks and Gamers, does that mean that she will be the leader of the Phantom Menace? Well, I guess in order to be the leader of the Phantom Menace, you have to be part of the Phantom Menace. And so therefore, I would say the default answer would be no. However, I do think it's interesting that when you look at the facts, that she got instant monetization, she got instantly put onto the trending page, that she was basically gifted every single thing that many other YouTubers, the vast majority of other YouTubers, work years to be able to accomplish. And even with all of that support, she is still struggling, she is still behind where she probably, should or could be. She's a person where she should be at 1 million at this point in time with the amount of love and support that YouTube, specifically as the company, has been given to her. I know my boy Orange Hat Reviews did a video on it, and several have done videos on it, and I really just do think that the Brie Larson situation has really exposed just how completely corrupt YouTube is. We already knew how corrupt they were, right? It didn't take much for us to see that they were corrupt, that they obviously favored certain people over others. But the fact that they gave complete celebrity status to Brie Larson after posting one video, and actually even before posting one video, to give her instant monetization, give her an instant check mark, every single thing in between. Something tells me that, she's going to pass one. If she's not, I think she's already passed 100,000. She'll get her silver play button instantly. She'll get every single thing handed to her simply because she's a celebrity, simply because she has right think. And that's what YouTube likes, and that's what these giant corporations and companies like. If you have right think, we'll take care of you. While all the rest of us who, stream for hours and hours and hours every single week. Again, I have not even done the math on the number of streams I've done and the number of hours that I've streamed to get to the point where I am. And of course, I owe that all to you for your support, for you liking, for you donating, for you sharing, for you coming back week after week after week. It frustrates me, and it frustrates so many others to see someone like Brie Larson just being gifted everything for doing nothing except for her own existence. And it's just so hilarious that she's like, I am a person of privilege and I'm going to use it. And it's like, if you really were going to use your person, your place of privilege, you would have denied monetization, you would have denied special treatment, and you would have grown your channel organically to help people, help people the way that you claim that you want to. But you didn't do that. Instead, you took the handout, and you just go ahead and show why you, the typical white liberal class Hollywood elite, are the most overrated and also the most pampered and also the most privileged. If we're going to talk about actual privilege, one of the most privileged classes in this country right now. So funny that she will oftentimes complain about, oh my gosh, I'm fighting for gender inequality, etc. Really? Show me a male star that tried to do what you did with the same exact growth rate. I'll give you a moment. Probably you don't hear this either because you don't care, because it's all about attention for you. Anyway, we got a couple super chats. Cancel Venom, thank you for the Canadian $2. Says, I'm not a troll, I'm a meat popsicle. Of course. And Latino Slant, thank you also for a $2 super chat. Says, happy 4th to all, and Bree is a handsome fellow. I'll leave that between you and Bree. But anyway, Captain J-Rod, glad to see that you are indeed here. And, oh yeah, great. Someone's posting a Turkish flag here in the channel, so I'm going to ban the sticker because that crap has no place here, especially on the 4th of July. And you're gone, good sir. Deleted and muted. Get the Turkish trolls out of my chat on this day where we celebrate America. Not today, Turkish trolls. Not today. Philly the Hobbit says, I received your movies in the mail. Glad that you received them, good sir. Captain Fat Elvis says, dropping by to say happy 4th. Busy grilling, so can't stay long. Ooh, well, enjoy that grilling. If I had a grill, I would have been grilling some burgers, some hot dogs, some chicken. I mean, everything. Just for me and my wife. All those options would have been grilled. Man, oh man. Can't wait to have a grill to be able to do that. Probably by next 4th, I imagine. That'll be something in my future. Captain K-Man, thank you for the diamond donation, says, freedom! Damn right. Damn right. Captain Fat Elvis, thank you for the 1 ice cream. Captain J-Rod, the Beer Guru, thank you for the diamond donation. He says, America, F yeah. Damn right. Vonemo says, it's 'cause Bree is the bestest ever. Oh my gosh, slay queen, slay. Of course. Captain K-Man, Bree and the word thinking just don't sound like they go together. As is most, I would say thinking does not go along with most people in Hollywood. Seeing that most of them, without a script in front of them and the ability to have 20 to 30 takes, couldn't do anything, right? To see a film actually take place, to see them actually go ahead. Again, trust me, as someone that has done theater, I know that there are actors out there that are talented for starters, but also do work their tails off, right? That's why I will give credit most especially to theater actors, because they have to learn their blocking, they have to learn their lines, sometimes songs, all these different things that they have to learn. And then many of them have to do it night after night after night. And guess what? Each performance is a one take. You get one shot. If you mess up, yeah, you got the next night to get it right, but again, you got to get all those things right. When it comes to people that start off as movie stars or TV stars, again, I respect some of them for the talents that they might have, but for the most part, I'm not overall impressed by what they actually put out there. But yeah, I would say that thinking is not their strong suit. As you could tell from the video that was put together by Bree, because I'm sure she edited her own video too, by the way. In fact, it would not surprise me if someone from YouTube said, hey Bree, we'll edit it for you and we'll add all these things for you and we're just gonna put it out all on a red carpet for you because you're privileged and you're special. And again, I love how she acknowledges that she has privilege and then yet still embraces the privilege. It's like, if you actually cared, if you actually, cared about fighting against your privilege, you wouldn't be taking advantage of it. You wouldn't be taking advantage of it. But of course, you're a hypocrite and you can't. I would love to see you, Brie, by the way, do this. Seriously. Here's a challenge to you, Brie Larson. I would love to see you stream consistently once or twice a week, unscripted, just to see how you would do, just to see how you would respond to questions. Would love to see you do that. Would love to see you try, but you're not going to. You're not going to because you're going to be protected. Because guess what? Even if you did do that, you would have so many corporate mods in there blocking everyone with any critical thought, blocking anyone asking maybe even just an honest question. And you would basically be cultivated and be given softball questions. Yeah, I have no patience, or I'm really not impressed by actors or actresses like Brie Larson. Bottom of the barrel. Twirly Wolf, thank you very much for the $25 super chat. Says, just in case you need a little more for the Film Preservation Project. Well, thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. But that, of course, any donations for that are going through Streamlabs. So anything donated via super chat does not go towards the project. And again, there's a couple of just logistical reasons why. One, YouTube takes 30% of that cut. So again, YouTube takes 30% of whatever is donated, for one. And then second, the money doesn't transfer over until about a month later if YouTube is on time with their payments. And so that's why, and again, I'll go ahead and I'll put that up on the board since I have not done so already. But we're doing very well right now. We got $901 in, 90.1% of the way there to the original goal of 1,000. We just as I guess the good time to give an update on it. So we've been able to raise enough to where a server has been bought, because I also put in some of the money that I would normally get in from ad revenue, things like that. So I put in a little bit of the YouTube money that I normally would get from last month, put that towards it. So I got the server is up and running. I also have 2 drives to start off with, and already have a few movies that are there. If you're wondering what films are currently there, what films are currently backed up on the server, I do now have a page on my website, ombreviews.home.blog. That is a place where if you want to follow the progress of it, you can. Again, you don't have to, but that is just a place to show you the films that have been backed up, the TV that's been backed up. And then I have a third bar there called In Progress. And eventually, when I have the brain capacity, because it's just been so busy and crazy here lately, I'm going to go through my own collection and I'm going to see, okay, what films do I own that I can put on that list to say, okay, I own these already, so don't recommend them. But one thing that is on that page, though, I'll post it on YouTube as well. One thing that is on that page, though, is it's a new link to submit suggestions, because I appreciate everyone that gave the first list. Again, I really do appreciate that first list that people gave. But what I wanted to do in this second list, so it's a brand new list, is same concept. Please list one movie, one TV series per submission. I have it where you can submit it multiple times. But what I want you to do is not just put the name of the movie and the year, just to confirm which film or series it is, but also I want you to explain why. Like, what is it about the movie or series that you think makes it at risk? Because I felt like a lot of people were just nominating things that, they loved, like films that they thoroughly enjoyed, which, hey, that's great. I love film too. But the way I'm backing these up as ISO images or as disc images is so that not only is everything preserved, so special features, the movie itself, the menus, like everything that's on the disc is actually preserved in the way that it was meant to be seen, but also it leaves the potential to be able to replicate it if we ever get to that point, right? So basically think of it as a safe to hold on to the movies and television shows that are at risk of being either altered or canceled. And if it happens where a studio decides to pull a movie completely or something to that effect, we'll have a place where if something needs to be replicated, allegedly, of course, the capacity will be there. So, right, so just as a reiteration about what the project was meant for, but also, again, so Twirly Wolf, thank you so much for that super chat. Again, I really do appreciate that. But because YouTube does take 30% of every super chat And because that does not come in until next month's, it's going to be very hard just to transfer all that stuff over. But I really do appreciate it. It's still going to go towards the channel, though. It's still going to help towards the channel, and it's still going to help towards, being able to buy DVDs and Blu-rays and things like that when that stuff comes in. So thank you very much, Twirly Wolf. Canceled Venom came in. Thank you for the Canadian $2 and says, you neurotic as Geeks and Gamers are my entertainment. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Canceled Venom, for that. I really do appreciate your love and your support. Thank you. All right, let me try and finish up over on ZD Live, if I can. Daniel Thorne says, where's the fireworks? No fireworks here today. Just not really my type of thing that I'd want to go ahead and spend money on. Just, again, not my thing. Plus, my dog River is terrified of them. And so that's why the stream's not going to go too long tonight, because Lord knows that those will probably start up, if they haven't already. We'll start up in about probably an hour or so, but I want to get done long before then. Once it gets dark, because it's still actually very light outside, but once it's dark, those will start off, and my dog River gets very terrified. So I want to be there to support River and to be, to hug her and hold her and make sure she's okay. Might have to stay up a little bit later too, just to make sure she's okay. Because sometimes if we put her, sometimes, on New Year's, things like that, or anytime that people randomly did fireworks, if we were to, they're kennel trained. And so when we would kennel them for the night, she would just be, howling and wailing all night because she was terrified. So yeah, it's, it's a sad time. So that's why we don't do fireworks here at home. One of the reasons why. All right, back into the YouTube chat side of things. So I'm still a bit behind, again, about 20 minutes behind. So if I'm not talking to you or answering or addressing your question or comment right now, it's because it's 7:03 in the chat where I am. It's 7:31 right now in real life. All right, so please do not harass and spam any comments in the chat. I'd appreciate it. Aiden Vickery is a member, says, Hail Odin. Thank you very much, Aiden Vickery, for being here. Sasha Neon says, Hail All Father, Asgard takes a close second to America. Proud to be both today. Well, thank you, Slicer. And again, for me, obviously, my allegiance goes more towards America than it does towards anything else. Because it's what, basically, without America and without the rights that we have that were, again, started back on this day in 1776 with the Continental Congress, officially promulgating the Declaration of Independence. Without any of that stuff, the country that we have today would not be what it is. Of course, I would say that there's some things that we've lost along the way, but still the fact that I'm able to go online right now and speak my mind and have an opinion on anything is a right that I do not take lightly. So thank you very much for that. Bruce says, Yankee Doodle Dandy is playing on Turner Classic Movies right now. I imagine one thing that TCM does very well is it always plays films that are very appropriate for whatever time of the year that it is. And so I imagine that they have a lot of great films for 4th of July, Independence Day. 70B says, I'm stocked up for you, Chief. Well, thank you, Stephanie B. I appreciate that. Just Joe 47, what's going on, says, Happy 4th of July, everybody. After I grill, I'm going to watch the most patriotic movie ever, Team America World Police. That is definitely, I would say, one of the most patriotic as well. That, Independence Day, would be up there. The Patriot, some might say, would be up there as well. My friend John Flickinger loves that film, so I'm wondering if he's watching that tonight. And I'm sure there's a lot of other films that are on your list that you watch every single year. I know for some people, it might be a film like The Sandlot, right? It's a good summer film, and obviously there's the sequence in the movie where the 4th of July is happening, and it's that really cool scene when they're playing baseball. And again, you have that beautiful rendition of, oh, beautiful. And then, of course, all the fireworks in the background. They're watching the ball flying. Great scene. Great scene. Plus, it precedes one of the best scenes in all of film history, which is, of course, you play ball like a girl. Speaking of films that might need to be on the preservation list. What are you trying to say? Nathan Slay, I'm really starting to wonder if we will even get Tenet at all. I'm wondering if any new films are coming out this year, not even just Tenet, right? I think 2020 is at this point essentially done. Because basically, for those that have not been following, AMC, they have delayed their reopening till the end of July. And their mindset and justification for that is that because of Tenet being delayed and because of all the major releases being delayed, because I believe Mulan was also delayed as well. So if that is the mindset and justification, and we're seeing spikes now in cases, and the biggest spikes are happening, of course, in the states that have the people running those states that are more apt to try and shut things down and grind the economy to a halt once again, looking at you, New York and California. And not to mention, they're blaming that on people trying to go back to work and not on the riots and protests. God forbid we blame those, which are the clear reasons why we've been seeing any spikes whatsoever in any new cases of it. But it's because, unfortunately, California and New York hold such a large portion of the money that is made from the theater chains that essentially controls it. So for as long as California and New York are still on lockdown, I would not expect a whole lot of brand new films, at least major releases, right? You know, Unhinged with Russell Crowe, not really a major hit. That one I think we'll still see come out earlier, but even that one got delayed, sadly. It's just crazy how all that stuff happens. But yes, indeedy, it's crazy to think that there very well is a good chance that if California and New York are saying, yeah, we're not going to reopen really until, October, right? Some are saying as late as October. Who's to say that that's not just going to go back, especially since what's right before October, or rather what's right after October, that's right, there's an election. And if you think these protests and riots are done, forget about it. Forget about it. Because I'm sorry, whether, this might fall in line with conspiracy, but I will argue that at least part of it, at the very least, part of what's going on with these protests and these riots, all the stuff and all the chaos going on is absolutely something that's at least being fed by proponents of people that want to see a new president this November. I'm just going to be honest about that. Whether it's the governors that are not stepping in because they want the president to bring in the National Guard and make a scene and have images and videos of National Guard taking on peaceful protests that might be going on, right? Like, I'm sorry, you might say I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm sorry, man. I think that a lot of that stuff that's being done, the decisions being made by governors and mayors, etc., it's being done to try and make the country look terrible. And if the country looks terrible, the general rule of thumb, even though we might know the reasons as to why things are the way they are, is that the regular, average, everyday, uneducated voter is going to vote for whoever is not the one in power. And that's all I'll say about that until I'm sure someone in the chat will bring it up again. Alice Riley says, you'll vote for me for president. I'll be 35 in November. Boom, Alex McCarthy. Are you running, though? Are you going to be on the ticket? That's the big thing. Latino Slant says, plans changed, so I'm here, Odin. Happy 4th. Well, thank you for being here. Again, don't know how long I'll be here. Panda Fanatic, what's going on? Tina is enjoying the 4th of July. She might be here a little bit later. Devil Dog, what's going on? John Burkett, welcome to the chat. Jake D. Wilhelm Morrow says, Ves Heil, Odin. Drinking mead and glad to be here on this Independence Day. Wilhelm, thank you for being here. Jens Jurgensen says, the Greeks. What about those Greeks? Orange Hat Reviews, who is now a member on the channel, says, OMG. You would not believe it. We just got a rogue transmission from the moon, and several large objects are entering our atmosphere. They're taking positions over every major city. Oh, man. Oh, Independence Day. Nathan Slay, have you ever seen Total Recall? If so, what do you think of the end? What do you think the ending means? I've seen the original one time, and I don't really remember a whole lot about the ending, so I don't know. Canceled Venom says, I guess I'm invisible. No, I still see you. As long as you tag me or you're a member or your name is new to the chat for tonight, I tend to notice you. Tippetail McKitty, what's going on? Enjoy those fireworks. Latino Slant says, I just ate a whole pizza. Burp, America. Well, I hope you enjoyed that pizza. It sounds delicious. I had pastaroni. because that's all we had. We didn't plan things out very well. But I had pastaroni. As I said, it's been a very busy last couple of days. Bruce says, yes, Independence Day was on just a little while ago. Yes, indeedy. Definitely a film that is a staple for the day. Sasha Neon says, very topical Independence Day pitch meeting dropped. Check it out. I might have to check it out. It's been a while since I've seen one of those, actually. Cancel Venom. Happy 4th of the Laundering Day. I thought I heard sirens. Of course you did. It's not really laundering, though, man. Again, it's media that I've bought, and all I'm doing with it at this moment is digitizing it and preserving it. That's what I'm doing. All right? We don't live, we don't live in the age of future crime, right? Alleged future crime, right? We don't live during that time period. And so therefore, if I say something allegedly, because again, it's all under the assumption that what I say could happen, does happen, there's no laundering here. None at all. None at all. Plus all the money that has been donated, as I've shown y'all clearly, has been spent on the things that I said that they would be spent on. And now there's a website page to give y'all an update on where we are with it too. So Stephanie B is also being a bit, She says, I ain't wearing no mask. Come at me, bro. Well, Stephanie B, that is your right as an American, and I will defend that right. Obviously, various opinions on masks, but I defend that right. No question about it. We got some super chats who come in the last 7 minutes. So first 7 minutes ago, we have Miss Martin Muses. What's going on, Miss Martin Muses? Again, someone who has been a long supporter of the channel. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, my favorite is 1776. And to be honest, I've actually never seen the film. I've never seen the musical, never seen the film. All I know is that there's a song in it called Philadelphia, and that in one rendition of it, Mr. Feeney sings it. Christina Nardon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, Hail Odin, hope you're having a happy 4th of July so far. Great stream last night. Well, Christina, thank you so very much for that. I appreciate it very much. We had fun. Oscar Meyer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, Hail all and sundry. Long live the fighters. Also cancel Jeremy. Always cancel Jeremy. And yes, long live the fighters indeed, especially those that fight for freedom. And cancel Venom with a Canadian $2 super chat. Says, well, I didn't want to say love the old house again. I see there. And yet you did, even though it's not the old house, but that's okay. Canceled Venom says, my work making masks mandatory, but haven't called associates back yet, only managers. Yeah, and obviously businesses, are going to do what businesses do, as long as it's a private business making that decision for themselves. Again, I might not like it. I might question whether I want to work there anymore, depending on my financial situation in life. I know that, for example, at least at this point, the plan is we're doing 6-foot learning when school returns, and I'm going to have to wear a mask. And obviously, this job is important for me and for my family, and so I'm going to have to wear a mask in that situation, right? But obviously, that's for a job, and that's for work, and that's not for, just walking around on the street. I think that especially these cities and towns, etc., that are forcing people that are just, engaging in their freedom to walk outside of their house and breathe fresh air, that those people are going to be forced to wear a mask. That's when you get completely ridiculous for sure. Venom Broly 93, great to see you here. Matthew says, what topic you teach? Odin, I teach religion. I teach religion at a Catholic school. Forever Sci-Fi, Independence Day, starting the trend of movies targeting famous landmarks. This is true. It did indeed start that trend. I'm sure there's probably an older film that someone could probably point to, but it's definitely the one that, people's mind always goes to. There is absolutely no question or doubt about that. All right, so the chat has indeed jumped on me. It looks like some comments may have been skipped, sadly. So it's 7:18 now in the chat. So if your comment was prior to 7:18, it may have been skipped. So if you've been here the whole time and it was prior to 7/18, then you might need to repost it. The most recent comment I have is from right after Latino Slant's $2 super chat. And Forever Sci-Fi, who's a member, who says, YouTube put Brie in my recommended, so I went to the video just to dislike it. They understand me. Yeah, what I actually would have done instead, Forever Sci-Fi, and this is something that you might want to look into for maybe next time, is I would recommend next time they try and pull that garbage, you should click on, there should be like 3 dots. You should say, this doesn't interest me. And basically try and tell their algorithm, screw you for putting this in my recommended, you got it wrong. Try again, is what I would recommend. But because there was a jump there, let me jump over to my D-Live fam, because my D-Live fam obviously are fantastic. So Captain Will Gentry, what's going on, says, Happy Traders Day, y'all. Hashtag Rule Britannia. Hashtag God Save the Queen. Well, all I could say to that, Captain Will Gentry, is, yeah, if we hadn't gotten our freedom in 1776, who do you think would be running the world right now? Who saved y'all's tushes during World War II? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I have to say. Boom, baby. Alexander says, am I right? You've never watched the G.I. Joe TV show, the cartoon? Maybe a couple episodes when I was a kid, but not enough to know much about it. He then says, California and New York are Democrat hotbeds. This is indeed true. However, there are still individual people in there as well who can make up their minds. Sadly, they're not. Sadly, they are not. Let's see. Phonemo says, 2020 feels like a conspiracy. It really does. Alexander says, that's what they want you to believe. 2020 is just another year, buddy. Don't let them get you down. What do you mean that's what they want you to believe? No, there's a lot of really bad things going on in the world right now. Please, if you're going to come in here with any, again, there's some conspiracies where I think they make sense, but if you're going to come in here and trying to say, oh, the whole COVID stuff is a complete conspiracy, that's crap. So keep that garbage out of here, please. Daniel Thorne says, I think they will tie the vaccine shot with digital currency, i.e. the mark. Reasoning paper money passes on the zombie virus. I don't know about that second part. It didn't quite make a whole lot of sense, but do I think that they're going to add a tracker type thing to the vaccine? Probably not. But then again, who are we to know? How are we to know that? Daniel Thorne says, thoughts on Ju-On Origins TV series, which came out this week. No idea what that is, so that should answer that. Phonemo. So I watched your HBO video, and I still have no idea what is happening to my HBO Go app. Basically, at the end of the month, it's going away. So HBO Go is gone. At the end of the month, it is disappearing. And basically, everything is being consolidated into HBO Max, is what I've gathered so far. However, they could easily change their minds. They've already changed their minds several times, and so they very well could say, okay, we confused a lot of people, and we've gotten a lot of older people who have been complaining and not sure, so HBO Go is actually going to stay around longer, but HBO Now is still going to disappear and become HBO Max. Again, the whole process of them rolling that out has just been complete crap. Daniel Thorne says, how will you bypass mandatory flu and CV immunization? I see a few colleges bring that up already. Well, there's certain ones that I'm actually, again, there's certain ones when it comes to like vaccines, immunizations, like more so for kids, right? That do make a lot of sense to me because it's obviously how we've kept certain diseases from becoming rampant and etc. Again, vaccines do indeed hold a place. As far as you go into the whole, mandatory flu vaccine, again, I'm not in a position to make an official decision on how I feel about that quite yet. As I said, I don't like being forced to do something. However, if I am choosing to go to a school and the school, in order for me to go there, is requiring me to do something, that at that point is not, in that instance, and again, I've not done this fully, so there's flaws in this. Obviously, there might be. But basically, it's the same mindset as this, right? In order for me, when I went to a private school, right, I had to sign a piece of paper saying I was going to follow the rules of that school. and I could get in trouble if I did not follow those rules. In the same way, when you go to college, right, you also basically say, okay, in order for me to go to this school, I will have to do X or Y or Z. And guess what? You have the complete freedom to say, oh, I don't want to do that, so therefore, no. And then they can say, okay, well, then you can't come to our school, right? They're a private business. They're a private organization. Therefore, they have the ability to say no to you, just like you have the ability to say no to them. Now, I guess you could say it could become constitutionally problematic if it's mandated at public universities with public dollars, right? Because at that point, obviously you have a different, you have potentially a different mindset there. However, I probably would be more drawn towards saying you don't have to go there, right? If that's something that a school is mandating, you still have the choice to not go there. And so I guess that's where I would fit on that one right now overall. Daniel Thorne says, who are the worst? Traitors the South for wanting to escape the North, or Americans wanting to escape Britain? I don't quite understand the mindset there. Yeah, I'm going to skip that, Daniel Thorne, because I need a lot more context to have any idea as to what you were talking about. Let's see. Alexander says, I believe they're definitely using COVID as an opportunity, but I knew what they were willing to do already. Well, yeah, and there's no question that obviously there's different various government powers, etc., that are using, again, this is a part of the old, not even, I guess you could say the old Marxist playbook. It's the, basically it's a book called The Rules for Radicals, right? Never let a crisis go to waste mentality, right? That is exactly what they're using. That's exactly the playbook of what it is, right? Oh, there's chaos going on. Oh, how far can we push things? Oh, how willing are people to do whatever it is that they want? Basically, how willing are Americans to give up basic rights in an emergency situation? And so, yeah, that is something that I think, yeah, absolutely has been going on. But the virus is real, and its impact, of course, has also been very real. All right. So I'm caught up on DLive, jumping back over to YouTube. And if you were here already for what I said about YouTube, then you already know what's going on. So it's 7:18 p.m. in the chat on YouTube. It is 7:51 where I am. So, yeah, I'm about 30 minutes behind in the YouTube chat, and I'm sure it's going to jump on me pretty soon. Forever Sci-Fi says, I already got you. You said the Bree comment. Canceled. Let's see. Canceled Venom says, A Bree smash. A Bree smash. Panda Fanatic 47. Welcome to the chats. Jobu's Run. Thank you for being here. Canceled Venom says PrivTube. Yeah, seriously, privileged tube. Trolley Wolf says, the Bree stream was painful. Do I get an indulgence for sitting through it? Wait, do you mean us watching the Bree video, or did she actually do a stream? I don't know. Again, I don't follow her channel because I have no desire to watch a privileged white girl who's been given everything in life. Look into her history and her past. She's literally been given everything in her life. In her life, she's been gifted everything on a silver platter. Venom93 says, please, Hollywood producers, give Bree a job, for she has no time for YouTube anymore. Yeah, seriously. And again, she's not going to upload a whole lot, right? It's all for show. And the fact that it's been monetized and that she's going to get any money from it whatsoever is infuriating. It's so freaking ridiculous, man. Bruce says, Odin the Turk seem to love you. They do. On DLive, they absolutely seem to love me, man. They absolutely seem to love me. And yeah, I got you, Bruce. Jen Jurgensen says, ribs and wings. That sounds freaking delicious. Cancel Venom says, George Foreman grill for Odin. I've heard good things about it. Lito Slant says, Odin, just my twisted humor. Again, context. Soul Assassin. I have a theory that DJ Scandalous channel was taken down to cut any competition for future Hollywood YouTubers. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't really ever follow him. I've always saw him on Friday Night Tights. He was always in the chat over there. And that's pretty much the knowledge that I have of him, because I'm not really into modern music scene stuff. Cancel Venom says, everyone has a brain. Choosing to think for yourself is another story. Exactly. We all have brains. We all have free will. Whether you utilize either is up to you. Saija Neon says, everyone should spend their day like I did, watching Japanese anime, eating Chinese leftovers, and listening to Celtic music the American way. That's actually a very interesting mixture of various cultures. Forever Sci-Fi says, Brie must have had a crew helping her with her video. Cameraman, writer, producer at a minimum. I would add in there editor as well. Oh, there were tons of stuff going on behind the scenes that we didn't even see. Forever Sci-Fi says, oh, there's also at least one person scrubbing her comment section. Oh, yeah, no question about it. And you know what? It's probably YouTube itself. It's probably YouTube has put whatever algorithmic bot on her chat so that if any keywords are mentioned, they get wiped automatically. Again, she's getting every protection in the book. Aiden Vickery says, shut up, Odin. Nobody wants more Brie on YouTube. Yes, you're right. You're right. And me just mentioning her name is making it more. How dare I? Let's see. Tina Bojan says, I was shown a couple of photos of our favorite feminist Brie from 2018, all dolled up in a sequined string bikini and 6-inch spike heels. So brave, so brave. So brave indeed. She also had some work done as well. Why would you have work done? Oh, it's for my own sense of self and beauty. Yeah, sure. Sure, that's the reason why. Jay Stowe is a member of the channel. Happy 4th of July. How's it going? Canceled Venom. It's YouTubers' preeminent doom. Twirly Wolf says, cool, thanks for the update on the project. Exciting news. Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much. Again, very exciting. Can't wait to start to do more. Again, I haven't had time to go through my collection to see films that I think would fit in the mindset, which is why y'all's help would be very much appreciated. Again, there is that new link that should be posted randomly by Heimdall for responses and suggestions, where it's looking for movies and television, but it's not just looking for individual films, it's also looking for an explanation, because a lot of the films and TV that was being recommended to me, I had no frame of reference, I had never seen before, or I didn't quite understand why it was being recommended. So again, having that context is very, very key there. But Twirly Wolf, thank you very much for that donation. Again, I really do appreciate that earlier super chat. And hopefully I answered your questions. Let's see here. Joseph Nash is in the chat. What's going on? Cancel Venom. Brie walks are terrifying. If you mean a chemically made Brie Ewok hybrid, that does sound terrifying. Anything mixed with it is terrifying. Twirly Wolf says, put it to next month's pizza fund. Boom. Twirly Wolf absolutely will do. And I saw this comment even though it wasn't tagged. But Trace Adams says, 30% WTF. Yeah, so anything on YouTube, any super chat, any membership, YouTube takes 30%. Yep. Oh, they get a huge cut of everything. And that's why I always tell people, if you want to support the channel, I have a PayPal account that you can directly donate to. Also, of course, I use something called Streamlabs, where you can, just like with YouTube Super Chats, donate via credit, donate via PayPal, etc. And anything you donate via Streamlabs, it goes directly to me. Only the processing fee is taken out of it. So again, the example I always give is, let's say you give a $100 donation. If you give that donation on YouTube, $30 of that goes to YouTube. And then the $70 that is left over goes to the YouTuber's hands a month later. Versus, let's say you're using something like OBS, like Streamlabs OBS, like I use, right? And you donate via Streamlabs and that direct donation, whether it's PayPal or whether it's a credit card. If it's PayPal, boom, it goes in there right away. And the only fee that I'm aware of is, a processing fee. So $100 through Streamlabs becomes $96 to the person that you're giving to, and then the $4 that it takes to process the payment, right? Much more fair than YouTube's. We're going to take 30%. And the reason why, we talked about this last night, YouTube loves, they love live streams. Think about how many super chats every single Friday Night Tights gets, right? Gary gets a lot of cash from Friday Night Tights. But then you got to think in terms of how much he's actually getting. if you take 30% out of the total amount that you see him get through those super chats, that's a huge chunk of change that YouTube has just made off of his stream. And yet, even though they benefit so much for streams, anytime you put a stream, like for me, I've been doing it recently, if I put a stream out and leave it public so that it shows up in subscription feeds, it kills the algorithm. It makes it harder. Again, it is such a ridiculous system. That's why I've always said, I would love to find a viable alternative to YouTube. Again, DLive's great. My DLive fam's fantastic, but it's not really viable, right? To do everything that I do already. It's just not quite there yet. And that's also why I always push people to donate via Streamlabs. Again, if you want to support the channel, great. It helps me out a lot, seriously. But Streamlabs is the way to go. And also, and because of that, anything that goes to Streamlabs for the next 18 days is going specifically to the Film TV Preservation Project. So since we have the server and the drives now, anything else that we make, whether it's 1,000 if we get to that, if it's past 1,000, again, anything that comes via Streamlabs only is going towards the project. And so anything extra will go towards an extra drive for the server, will go towards movies and television that I might need to buy on physical media in order to back those up, and things like that. There's also a purchase that would be cool to make is to get a new hard drive for my computer, so that way I can actually do more backups and store them on my computer before transferring them over, again, just to make the process easier overall. But again, that hopefully explains a little bit about why, again, Streamlabs is better overall. But right now, anything that does go through Streamlabs is going towards that specific project. So anyway, I believe, am I still on DLive or am I not? I can't remember. No, I'm still on YouTube because I'm halfway through here. Canceled Venom says Breaky Mouse? Maybe. Maybe. Forever Sci-Fi says, I nominated Short Circuit because it has a white guy playing an Indian guy. Bad accent and all. The 80s were so non-PC. Yeah, see, that's an example of one I could totally see. But make sure, again, that you're making it through the new form. Again, make sure that you're making it through the new form. Because if it's not done through the new form, then I'm not going to use it. I'm only using things through the new form. And that you can find on the website, ombreviews.home.blog. Go to the Film TV Preservation Project, and you'll find the new form to fill out there. And that way you can give me the explanation. Because I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to forget. That's just the way it goes, Forever Sci-Fi. Guy hiding under Odin's desk for $1.11 says, Odin Almighty. Well, first off, thank you for donating via Streamlabs directly. I appreciate that. And all right, we're safe. We're good. There's nothing there. Thank the Lord. Canceled Venom on YouTube as a member says, can't white noise machines be modded to help dogs not hear fireworks? We already use one every night because if they hear anything, they start barking, and so that already helps. But because there's that certain frequency that is heard, we've tried it in the past, and basically if she's already scared, she's going to stay scared for a little bit after, and then once she calms down, then she's okay. So but yeah, we're going to take care of her. We're going to take care of her the best way we can. Cancel Venom says, time to bust out some Sequest DSV. What is Sequest DSV? Cancel Venom, couldn't they modify theater parking lots into drive-ins? There was an article that someone shared with me, and I think it's been mentioned on the streams before too, that apparently some Walmarts are already turning their parking lots into drive-ins as well. Brilliant idea. Might as well. Sasa Neons, thank you for tagging me. He says, I love the idea of the American Heroes Garden of Statues. So many great icons to choose and add later. No wild mob is stopping this country. Boom. Yeah. I mean, I don't really even know that much about it. But yeah, man. I mean, there's so many people from from a wide variety of years, right, of American history that we can, preserve not only as a statute or in statute form, but also give credit to. And also it gives people an education as well. I've never understood the concept of let's tear down all the statues. No, let's keep them up. And if we need to put a plaque underneath it saying, hey, let's give some historical context, right? I think that if we're going to have to choose between either one or the other, then it should be, let's put the plaque up. Let's not tear things down, right? Let's learn from our history and not repeat it. Tim Elf says, Odin, all father of cinema, didn't get my notification. Hail, that's one of the reasons why YouTube sucks. But Tim Elf, that's also why I use a schedule. And for people that follow the schedule, you never have to worry about YouTube's notifications not working because you'll already be exactly where you need to be. And you can find my schedule on my website. Let's see. Forever Sci-Fi says they'll keep things locked down until November 4th because they want mail-in voting. And Forever Sci-Fi, that's actually a factor that a lot of people aren't even thinking about. Yes, you're right. Think about some of these states, right? Think about how, if you're locked down and the CDC says, voting in person is not safe, or, we have to allow mail-in voting to a wider extent than ever before, that is going to be such an easier way for voter fraud to happen. And when you look at how close some states were in 2016, that's all they need. Yeah, and I don't even think that's a conspiracy. I think that's absolutely their plan. No question about it. Again, never let a catastrophe go to waste. They will utilize this terrible situation to the best of their own ability, and it'll all be for them. It'll all be for politics, and it's disgusting. And that's why I say we vote them all out. All of them. Both sides. Because we need more than 2. We need 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. However major parties are needed. This two-party system is broken, and it leads to nothing but nonstop campaigning and nonstop crap. Chris Rose, thanks for subscribing to the channel. As Bruce, member on the channel, Bruce dropping a $50 donation via Streamlabs. That's a direct donation. So Bruce says, happy 4th. Bruce, thank you very much for your generosity, man. Thank you for donating via Streamlabs. Again, that helps out people like me, people who are creators on YouTube, because YouTube does not get any of that Streamlabs donation. So thank you so very much for that. And as far as the goal goes, you've pushed us to 95.21%. So thank you very much for that. Again, for the next 18 days, no matter what the percentage is, if we go past 100%, that's great. Anything that goes there will be going towards stuff for that project. So thank you very much, Bruce, for that. I appreciate it. Cans of Venom says, never driven a car, been hit by 14 of them, though. How have you been hit by 14 cars, dude? At that point, it's like, what? At that point, it's like, you must be doing something wrong. If that's the case, you must be doing something wrong. Alice McGarley says, I have hot dogs. Well, congratulations. It's a very American meal to have. Forever Sci-Fi says, it's 2020. Please don't make Independence Day jokes. It's hard to tell if it's a joke and if there's a good chance they may come true. I highly doubt that we're having any alien invasions right now. Cupcake Geek, thanks for tagging me, says, what is pastaroni? Never heard of it. So think about how you make, pasta. Only comes in a pre-made box, and the seasoning's there and everything. Basically, it's like 5-minute pasta. And it's great. It's delicious. It's fantastic. Jace Doe says, Independence Day, always great for the 4th. Canceled Venom says, yes, God bless me. Yes, you need some prayers, Canceled Venom. For sure. For sure. Golden Ration, I see that you're in the chat. What is going on? Shifty, see you in here as well. Venom Broly says, does your dog be afraid of fireworks because she hears them but doesn't see them? She's afraid from noise coming from nowhere. We don't know exactly why. Again, a lot of dogs are afraid of fireworks. I think it has more to do with just, again, that sense of a loud noise, not knowing exactly where it's from, not knowing exactly where it is, can just cause a sense of anxiety. And we've tried a lot of different things. Obviously there's like the blankets, or not the blankets, but like the vest that they can wear that, is supposed to help calm them down, but they can only really do so much. The chat has jumped on me like it always does on YouTube. So let us see where we were left off, if any. All right, so some comments were indeed skipped because YouTube sucks. So again, if your comment was prior to 7:50 p.m. in the chat, it may have been skipped. And so if you've been here the whole time and your comment was prior to 7:51, you might need to post it again. But right now, the YouTube chat I see is Forever Sci-Fi at 7:51 in the chat. And by the way, we got 72 people watching. Please smash that like button. It's a lot more than I thought. It's about the standard number that we have. So thank y'all for choosing to be here on the 4th. Hope you're having a good time. We will be ending probably in about 15 minutes or so, though, just because I don't want this one to go too long tonight. So that way I can spend some time with the wife and also, of course, try and be there for my puppy as the fireworks start going off. It's still light outside, so we still got a little bit of time, but definitely want to make sure I'm there to protect my puppy. Alexander, yes, it's Rules for Radicals was the book I was referring to earlier. Daniel Thorne says, we on DLive support Steph not having to wear a mask. Damn right. Again, it is her right to do so. Phonemo says, Tesla is now worth more than Disney. I wager it's because Tesla makes products people want. That is definitely a fair point for sure. Definitely a fair sure. Looks like there might be a troll in the chat that I might have to take care of. It's good just not to interact with them. They might sometimes just disappear on their own. Captain Will Gentry says, have you tried a weighted jacket for your dog? I heard the other day that they help dogs cope with firework bangs. Again, I mentioned that previously, with something that we've looked into. Daniel Thorne, abandoned malls are turning into apartment housing. Big name companies buying up places where mom and pop stores used to be. Yes, indeed. Again, a lot of things happening. A lot of moving parts going on. Daniel Thorne, thoughts on 170-minute Batman Forever cut? I want it. Sounds great to me. Alexander says, Brie wears sexualized contraptions at every premiere, as do all the rest of Hollywood women claiming to be independent. Yep. And again, it's the whole mindset of, oh, look, I'm beautiful and I am sexually liberated. Look how strong I am. When in reality, all they know is, oh, everyone is going to look at me. All the guys are going to look at me. And it's just perpetuating the culture that we live in where, again, we have a problem with people with addictions in this country. And it's not all drug addictions. Forever Sci-Fi Animal House is a patriotic movie. That scene where they walk out of the hearing humming the national anthem brings me to tears. Also, we didn't quit when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. Damn right, Forever Sci-Fi. Damn right. Cancelled Venom says, Bree's videos make Last Jedi look Oscar-worthy. Oh, lordy. A Breegorithm says Cancelled Venom. Coming up with all the puns tonight, I see. Let us see here. Slice of Neon says, Al Gore rhythm and dance game about how climate change kills the world in 10 years. Yeah. Or is it 12? I feel like it's constantly changing. By the way, I'm currently reading through you all know, again, I'm a Catholic school teacher. I'm reading through an encyclical. It's basically a letter that was written by Pope Francis, allegedly written by Pope Francis. It was obviously written by a lot of people, called Laudato Si. And basically, if I could describe it to a layperson who's an American that would understand this reference, it's essentially the Green New Deal wrapped into repetition, hypocrisy, talkings and promotions of a new world order while periodically sprinkling in authentic Orthodox Catholic words and teachings. It's like every now and then he'll say, well, Pope Benedict XVI said this, and oh, let's talk about this fancy word that you'll understand if you're a Catholic theologian, right? Subsidiarity, right? Where every level of government, or basically subsidiarity, the mindset is there are certain things that certain levels can handle better than others, right? So a local community can handle certain issues better than a national government can. And so the principle of subsidiarity in the Catholic Church says if a lower group, so a local community or, hey, a family, can handle an issue as efficiently or more efficiently than a higher body, then that lower body should be allowed to do so. But then he contradicted himself by, again, promoting a New World Order international government body nonsense. But it has been one of the most frustrating reads in my entire life. And it makes me think, you know what? I would rather read Twilight again than to have to read that encyclical again. And for me to say that as a Catholic, that I think I hope that speaks volumes. It is complete and utter trash garbage that's also like 80 pages, and it's ridiculous. If you're a Catholic, you'll know what I'm talking about. Waiting for Nerdrotic, what's going on? Laura, glad to see you here. Nathan Slay says, would it be right to call Silence of the Lambs a horror movie? Absolutely. It's a thriller. But yeah, horror film would definitely, I think, fall into that. Definitely more thriller category, though. Again, sometimes those categories can merge together. Dean approves. Up, dude. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you. Dean approved. Glad to see you here. Let us see. Nathan Slayer says, would it be accurate to call Jaws, Back to the Future, and The Dark Knight high-quality cinema? I would say they are. Jaws is considered by many to be the first real major blockbuster film from the summer that it came out. However, there's a lot of things in Jaws that I think still hold up, especially cameras. I mean, the one awesome, amazing camera shot of Brody, you know, right? That you know the one I'm talking about, when it's just like this change in perspective. I still don't know exactly how they do it, but it looks amazing. I would call it high quality cinema. Again, some of my favorite films, that's for sure. Bruce says, "Oh, I get cookies." Yeah, when you donate, you get extra bonus cookies. And then other people also get cookies too. Yeah, that's one of the things I put into my system is if you donate via Streamlabs, you also give a lot of cookies to everyone else too. It's a way to kind of promote it. Also, 3 minutes ago, J-Rod, the beer guru, donated $50, says, "Goal!" And yes, indeed, because of that, we have indeed crossed the threshold. We are now at $1,002, 100.21% of the goal. So thank you so very much, Jared Mills, for pushing us over the edge there. Thank you. But as I said, again, anything else that still comes through Streamlabs will still go towards that project for the next 18 days. Just because obviously there's still a lot of extra stuff that we could get at this point. The main stuff has been gotten so far, but Jared Mills and Bruce, together, y'all both help push us over the edge. So thank you so very much for your generosity and for helping with that. Thank you. Tina B. What's going on, Tina B? Welcome to the chat. Hope you've been having fun. She says, no flags, no placards. Tell these asswipes to pick up a damn history book and learn something like I did. Hashtag Tina has no patience for people who don't study history. Boom, Tina. Coming in hot. Lit AF Bob Pompiani. Pompiani, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Forever Sci-Fi, there's no chain of evidence for mail-in voting. Exactly right. And also, there are certain states where you can clearly see a history and a greater tendency for voter fraud. No question about it. Nathan Slay says, media, we must set out and protest and riot to defund the police for the July comes. Also, media, oh no, it's too dangerous to have fireworks. Better call the police that we just said should be defunded, right? Oscar Meyer, who's a member. Streamlabs, see, edit, and permanently delete your YouTube videos, ratings, comments, and captions. What? See, edit, permanently delete your YouTube videos, ratings, comments, captions. Oscar Meyer, that made no sense whatsoever. I don't understand what you were trying to say about that. Streamlabs is awesome. Streamlabs allows me to do things as a creator. Because it's something that YouTube will not do. All right, chat jumped on me. But luckily, things have slowed down a little bit. Please continue to slow down a little bit, getting towards the end, because, again, I wanted to limit tonight's stream to be a short one anyway. So that way everyone can enjoy their festivities and watch a good movie. But I want to make sure I'm in the right place and didn't skip anyone. Cool. But let me jump over to my D-Live fam really quick. Captain K-Man, thank you for the diamond donation. I appreciate it. Says, just because the Valkyries are awesome, the Valkyries indeed are awesome. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, K-Man. I appreciate it very much so. Alexander says the most important thing is to vote against all negligent politicians. People must stand together against crooks, blue and red. Yeah, as I've been saying, that's why I'm a more independent mind. And again, look to your local politicians, see where they stand on various issues, and think to yourself, what would be best, right? What would be best for you locally and for you nationally? Ultimately, it's up to you. Orange Eye Reviews, thank you for donating via Streamlabs. Again, I really do appreciate that direct donation there. $5 donation says, have you ever seen the special edition of Independence Day? Additional and extended scenes giving a little more to a great story. I don't believe I ever had. But Orange Hat, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for donating via Streamlabs. I appreciate you. Forever Sci-Fi, hey now, the Navy admitted the Tic Tac videos were legit and those things were way beyond our capability. Wait, what? Again, Forever Sci-Fi, I need more context, man. That, again, made no sense to me. Slash Neon says, I watched a vid about a cute sleeping hummingbird. It snore flipped out my beagle. Oh, no. Cancel Venom said, had a cat once. Hated my ex so much, it jumped out the second story window, never came. No! Like, oh my gosh, as the story went on, I just got so sad. No, canceled Venom, no. If that's a troll, that's not a funny troll. Don't do that, canceled Venom. I hope that's not true. Panda Fanatic 47 says, you can play Thunderstorm soundtracks right off of YouTube. Start at low volume, build it up over time while it's playing. Give your dog treats and other things your dogs enjoy. Is that something that has worked for you? That sounds like solid philosophy. And Stephanie B, I see you quoting that movie. I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel. Damn right, Pee Wee Herman. Jace Doe says, fireworks, that's what fireball shots are for. Oh, lordy. Cancel Venom, does Bree YouTube videos use her butt double? Well, she only has one so far. Bruce says, Odin Arcats, mainly the boy, is... it's his first 4th of July, is afraid of fireworks. Found that out last night when we had a lot going off here. Oh no, the poor little kitty. That poor little kitty. Jay Stowe, I don't know. I think Bree is just as ugly on the outside. Again, obviously, like I usually don't really go towards that direction because beauty is, of course, I think in the eye of the beholder. And also, even though I'm very critical of Brie Larson and a lot of people in Hollywood, Kathleen Kennedy, etc., I still believe that they all still have intrinsic value, and I pray for them. Tina says, on a sip low car. What? That didn't make any sense at all. Golden Ration says, has anyone watched Hannibal on NBC? I've not, but I've heard great things about it. Laura, waiting for Nerdrotic, says, just wanted to shout out my love for hot dogs. Love the United States. Hot dogs are indeed fantastic, especially hot dogs off the grill. Man, it's really making me wish we had a grill. Again, my dinner of pastaroni is starting to sound very, very inferior to a lot of the things that y'all are having right now. Canceled Venom, thank you for the $2 Canadian super chat, says, that wasn't a troll. Cats are no troll. That makes me sad then. That makes me sad. That poor kitty. That poor kitty. I won my $10. I saw that reference, Laura. Oh, Deuce Bigelow. Alrighty. Chat has jumped on me on YouTube like it always has. Thank you all for slowing down. Again, let's keep that pace nice and slow so I can catch up and we can end right around time. Latino Slant says, congrats, Odin. Yay. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Fandom Manice says, you should try to back up everything TV and movies. Everything is going to be problematic at some point, and we know all entertainment will just be weight or something. Yeah, definitely not going to happen, fandom. Not going to happen. One, there's no amount of space that could hold all of that. And two, it's, again, there's always going to be some things that are going to be seen as acceptable. So definitely not. Definitely not fandom. Do you know how much storage costs? That's why I've been incredibly thankful to the people that have been generously donating, because it was not a cheap purchase. Cancel Venom says, I wish you, the Valkyries, chat is safe and happy. Gun toting weekend. 70B says, I will never slow down, speed it up. No, never. Nathan Slay says, this channel's Valkyrie, MCU's Valkyrie. Yes, our Valkyrie are so very much better. Nitrium, who's a member, says, Reed, Tic Tacs are UFOs. They feature a lot on Exozone. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I don't follow many conspiracies. Forever Sci-Fi says, reference to dismissing my comments, saying that alien invasion not likely to happen. Don't dismiss anything as impossible in 2020. So yeah, obviously anything is possible, but also I don't believe in I deny the existence of intelligent life that has been around forever. Again, not I don't buy into that. If you want that kind of stuff, go to the Exozone. Alex McCarthy, again, I actually haven't even watched an Exozone, so I don't even know exactly what they believe and what they don't believe. I think it's mostly just like interest in the subject matter, more so than anything else. But there's, again, a lot of that stuff I just don't believe. Alex McCarthy says, just sing the Thunder Buddies song from the movie Ted. Oh, if only my dog knew English, I think that would definitely help River out. No question about it. That would definitely help River. No question about it. All right. Let us see. Believe I'm caught up with everyone on YouTube. Perfect. So now just catching up on D-Live. Phonemo says, just think, at this rate, Birds of Prey may win an Oscar. Dear God, let's hope not. Remember, they have extended the Oscars consideration time period. So there actually is a chance that luckily other films can get in. Daniel Thorne says, alien invasion described in Bible when the fallen came to his earth and the Nephilim, they never left. That's with an improper interpretation of Scripture. So no. Yeah, so that's not biblical evidence for sure. That's just a bad interpretation of Scripture. Cancel Venom says, I have a lovely bunch of coconuts, diddly-dee. Forever Sci-Fi, Odin doesn't watch Exozone because it's always ghosted and he doesn't believe in ghosts. These are all true things. Waiting for Nadrog says, gonna watch Hamilton right after this, so excited. I thought you already had. My wife is actually in the process of watching it right now. She wanted to watch it without me because I have issues with Manuel Miranda. I don't think that's Broadway to me. You know, I also don't like the whole concept of, I don't like rap in general. I don't like hip hop, etc. And also some of the premises of how they cast the show and everything like that. It's just, I don't know. It seems a little bit too on the nose time-wise for them to release it this early. So again, that's kind of holding me back. I still kind of want to watch it just to say that I did, but we'll see. Nitrium says, preserving the movies, every film ever made and pretty much available on torrent sites. It's weird that the illegal pirate community is doing more to preserve than legitimate sources. This is true. However, again, the preservation effort that I'm doing is different because, again, I'm actually backing up the entire disc. So it's going to be as an image file, as an ISO file, and also it's going to be on a server that I don't have to worry about getting a virus from either. And because it's being saved as an ISO and because I have the capabilities of replicating it, if ever I get to that point, allegedly, of course. Yeah. There it is. Anyway, I think that is just about everything. Funny Mo. So the X-Files versus show isn't a documentary. Canceled. Are there? Captain Will Gentry says Birds of Prey Oscar watch party. No, we will not do that. K-Man is a member. Quick, pop in over here. Wish everyone happy 4th. I have to go finish packing. We'll be chilling in a cabin for a week starting tomorrow. Enjoy that vacation. Latino slant. Odin line reading, please. Mr. Herman. Paging Mr. Herman. I see what you did there. But it is indeed, again, the 4th of July, so that's going to be it for the comment section today. But before we end it, of course, we have to have a reference to one of the greatest films to ever exist. That is a perfect time. That is a perfect opportunity, or rather, it is a perfect representation of everything that is America, that everything that is, of course, the celebration of our independence. As Oscar Mayer, thank you so much, man, for donating $10 via Streamlabs. Again, really appreciate that direct donation. Cancel Venom, I've actually watched Interspace. I watched it today for the first time all the way through. Finally have seen it, so now you don't have to ask about it anymore. I liked it. Tina Bojan watched the first half of it and says, meh. Doesn't know how to feel about it, doesn't want to waste any more time. But anyway, so there is indeed something for us to look forward to because it is indeed the 4th of July. So I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July, a wonderful Independence Day. And again, couldn't say any better than myself than this.
The 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
There it is. There it is. All right, so I just had to have that Independence Day scene in there. Again, it is fantastic. Nitrium says, for non-US viewers, this scene is cringe. No, it is an amazing scene. It is freaking fantastic, and I love it because America. And as I said before, you are welcome. Thank you all so very much for being here this evening. Thank you so very much for being so supportive. Again, please be safe, whatever it is you're doing. Enjoy some hot dogs, some burgers, and also, most importantly, enjoy some freedom as well. You guys freaking rock. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And before we end the stream, let me shout out my members at the $5 and up level on YouTube. Orange Chat Reviews, Bruce, Adam Avery, Latino Slant, Larry, The Bosco 2000, Twirly Wolf, Aiden Vickery, Jay Stowe, Kamikaze, and Out of Step with Reality. Thank you all so very much for being amazing people. And again, if you have any questions about the preservation project, check out my website, ombreviews.home.blog. You can find a link for it in the description. There's a page now dedicated to the project. It'll tell you what films have been backed up, what television's been backed up, no TV yet, what's in the process, and also a form for you to give your recommendation with a very specific request, title, year, reason why it should be backed up. Don't just put your favorites. Again, please think about movies and television that's actually going to or is already in the process of being restricted, because as is appropriate on this day of the 4th of July, freedom of speech must be protected. Freedom of expression must be respected, and our films should never, ever be deleted or altered. You guys rock. I love you. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless, and God bless the United States of America. And now a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Albertus Magnus, Animation Commentator, Brian P., David Bobrizik, Dion, DivX, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, The Honky Chonky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Intertrap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toone, Jonathan Carney, Kenneth Camille, Lady T, Laura Story, who is the modern Major General, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange at Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Ellen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bojan, The DJD Show, and Tina B. Thank you all for being my Patreon members, and a huge shout out to my Subscribe Star members, Stand For, John B., Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, Alex McCarthy, or J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J. Rod the Beer Guru, Nebanon G. Adams, and ZK Man. Thank you all so very much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members. Seriously, you are the wind beneath my wings. You help keep the lights on. You help support things like the giveaways for my $5 and up backers, and also allow me to do a lot of the extra stuff for the channel, including the exclusive OMB podcast that I do every couple of weeks with John, the Flick Pick of the Flick Pick channel. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. Don't want to really drag it out too long this month. You guys are amazing and beautiful people. If you want to have a name shout out, if you want to have access to giveaways, podcasts, any of that kind of stuff, check the links in the description for Patreon and Subscribe Star. You guys rock. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.